we give to you your feature presentation. Presenting
Down for the 123 podcast. Hello and welcome to Down for the 123 podcast episode number 42. Oh my god, this is getting, we're getting through the episodes. I want to welcome you all to obviously Thursday's edition of NXT, SmackDown and News. Nothing to talk about. Let's just crack on with it, really. Why not? NXT. Yes, let's do it. So this was taped on the 9th of June. And obviously got released last night. So that's the 29th of June. So 20 days later. Terrible. Such a poor NXT. This is why I haven't really released this episode in a while. This is why it just hasn't been a fun thing to be watching at the moment. It's just getting a bit poor. I'd much rather be watching SmackDown than any of this. And the rumours of NXT closing, actually, obviously when there were loads of rumours about they might actually just end NXT and just stick with the Performance Center, but not have NXT anymore. It excited me purely because there's a lot of good talent on NXT, but today we didn't see no Bailey, no Finn, no Samoa Joe, no Shinsuke Nakamura, no Austin Aries, there's nothing, man. No, even not even a Ty Dillinger. Nothing. I don't even know. But let's just crack on with the review. So the first match we had was Alexa Bliss versus Carmella. Just a normal women's bout. And near the end of the match, Carmella looked to take advantage of a shaky and what do they normally call it, like dazed. There you go, dazed Alexa Bliss after hitting her with the head scissors kicky top thing, I don't know what it's called, off the top rope, which did get a near fall. So she looked to follow up with another move, but Alexa Bliss goozed her, so just tricked her and shit and hit an STO. And Bliss went back up to the top rope and hit a finisher, which has been renamed to the Twisted Bliss for the win. And that was that, really. There's nothing else really big that happened in the match. Nothing major. These are two wicked performers. Nothing to not slamming Carmella and Alexa Bliss. It was a fantastic. They're fantastic women's wrestlers, especially when they come on the main roster one day. But yeah, man, it just wasn't. It just wasn't that good. Nothing big happened, and normally when you get the opening match of NXT, it's normally a good detailed match. I'm not saying just because there were women or nothing like that. Because trust me, if NXT's got to say anything about women's wrestling, it is that they can fucking hold their own. 100%, nothing wrong with women's wrestling in any form of it. But yeah, this match was just a bit boring. Even if two males would have had it, it would have been the same thing. So, unlucky that they got given a shit, just a bit of a shit match to do. But, 8 minutes, 30 seconds for the opening match, they were given a lot of time, to be fair. But yeah, and then, what happened after that? So then we had, an earlier today type thing, where Shinsuke Nakamura said that he, has known Finn Balor for 10 years, and he says that they hung out a lot in Japan, and they know each other's families and friends. They are friends as well. And Nakamura said that he supported Balor come to NXT and watched him while he was in Japan as Balor became the icon of NXT. But Nakamura now says that he is here now and he wants the title, and he said he wants to face the best before becoming the champion. That means facing icons just like Finn Balor. He also said that he has to face Finn Balor which would be huge for him because they're like best friends. And he says that he knows Balor's abilities and potential, and he's excited for the idea of facing him. He said he's going to give the fans something sensational. And then they just typed up a match that was going to happen later in the show. But yeah, quite interesting. You know, that's all the Nakamura we really got. I'm looking forward to this match. Obviously, like same with Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. There was no like real build up. Even with Austin Aries versus Shinsuke Nakamura, there was no build up. It was just, we're gonna have a match. Fucking there you go, mate. And I suppose we are, and it's just gonna be a dream match anyway. You know, when after that amazing performance that they did at Takeover Dallas, Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura, even at Takeover, what was it? Takeover the end, with what do we have? We had Austin Aries and Nakamura, fantastic match. So now that we've got Nakamura and we've got Nakamura and fucking Finn Balor, this is gonna be a hell of a match. And then backstage, which wasn't really backstage, like Bayley was asked how she felt about she came back with a win last week, and Bayley said that she hated being out. But it was humbling to miss ring time. She goes that she's feeling 100% now, and she's ready for her rematch against Asuka, and she's ready to regain the women's NXT Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss interrupted her and said that she's gonna beat Bayley's best friend, and if she she just beat obviously Carmella and Bayley. She just beat her Carmella, and if Bayley wants her shot at Asuka, she'd have to go through Alexa Bliss first, which makes no sense because Alexa Bliss, you're nowhere near the title, and neither is Carmella. So, okay. Next match we have is Andre Cien Almas. I can never say this guy's name, but even to make it worse, he was versus Noah Potges. Well, I don't even know. So yeah, this is another fucking quick ass match. Like, I'm gonna run down the whole match in a sec. This match is 2 minutes 55 seconds. Right, so Almas used some counters to Noah's offense and caught him with a low drop kick. And then Almas did the Tranquilo fake dive, but Noah took control of the match. When he re-entered the ring, he sat in a chin lock and talked some trash before Almas began his comeback. He hit a springboard drop kick, a wheelbarrow bulldog, and then Andre lined up Noah and caught him with the running knees into the corner for the win. Boom, boom, boom. That was it. Full stop. Done. And then a little backstage segment with like all of NXT was just backstage segments with Austin Aries, and then earlier today with Finn Balor talking about Nakamura. Like, I'm not going to talk about them because they were just a waste of time. It's frustrating to why don't you just got these guys wrestling in the match? Like, it makes no fucking sense. And then, believe it or not, that was it. We had the main event. We had the main fucking event. We had 3 matches tonight. 3 fucking matches. The main event was Johnny Gargano. I hate fucking saying these guys' name. And Tommaso Ciampa versus the Hype Bros, which is Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. Don't get me wrong, nice to see Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder back together. It was a good, it was a good bout. It was a good tag team bout, to be fair. Obviously, both men can perform fantastically. Then, just to summarise the last closing seconds up, Ryder got a blind tag in, obviously from Mojo, and he went for the broski boot, but Ciampa cut Ryder off mid broski boot, and within seconds he and Gennaro crunched Ryder between the running knee and the super kick for the win. So they both got each other, and then boom, Zack Ryder's in the middle, gets hit with both. Funny enough, this match was only 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So just to clarify, the first match was like 8 minutes, 8:30. 8:30, right? Then the main event was 7:30, so that's 60 minutes, and then we got the squash match, which was like 2 minute 55, which is basically 3 minutes. So we got 19 minutes of wrestling. We didn't even get 20 minutes of wrestling in an hour show. That means 40 minutes was all bullshit. That's shocking. Like wow. That's a joke. I don't even know what to say anymore. But then, fucking Guerrero took the mic and said that they beat Revival the week before they regained the NXT championships. So therefore meaning that they are, in line for a number one title ship match. But then American Alpha come out and go, basically no chance. And they said, we're gonna get through those. Oh, what are those two people that they that battered them? Like the take over the end. They were like two little unnamed the Authors of Pain. That's the fucking one. So the Authors of Pain, they need to deal with them first because they attacked them. And now they're gonna deal with the Revival, and the NXT tag scene is just fucked, man. Makes no sense. I don't understand why they gave the tag champions to American Alpha. They didn't really do much with it. They defended it once and lost it. On that one defense, it was just disappointing. NXT on a whole was just fucking shit, man. Like, I don't know what to say. Fuck NXT, on board with it. And let's get on to SmackDown, yay! So, SmackDown started and it was taped in Miami, Florida today. Obviously, they'll be getting released on. Are they in USA now? Yeah, they are in USA, or wherever they are. On a Thursday, which is tomorrow, but obviously today is the 29th. So let's talk about some spoilers. So in a fatal 4-way match to determine the top contender for Rusev United States Championship, Cesaro went against Sheamus, Apollo Crews, and Alberto Del Rio. And Cesaro picks up the victory, but furious over another loss in the string of many losses for the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, he assaulted Cesaro after the bell. Rusev, the opportunist, hit the ring and demanded the match began straight away. So the next match obviously was the United States Championship match, Rusev versus Cesaro, and obviously Rusev just battered the shit out of Cesaro as a already half beaten Cesaro anyway, and just beat him and won, regained his title. Now, two things I want to talk about. This is a bit confusing, seeing as that he's fucking in a feud with Titus O'Neil. So why would you have a fatal foot? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, and then you got Cesaro attacking. Then you got Sheamus attacking Cesaro. Why didn't Sheamus just go attack Apollo Crews, seeing that they're in a fucking feud together? Like, this SmackDown just seemed like it was just a bit like odd, and nothing really made sense to. If you look at everything I'm going to talk about today, is not progressing any feuds. It's not like. It's just like Monday Night Raw doesn't exist, and it's a bit weird when you've got Monday Night Raw and then the next day you've got fatal 4-ways for top contenders for United States Championships, and people who are in feuds aren't even fighting with each other properly, and people who aren't in feuds are creating them, I suppose. Like, it's just a bit weird and a bit fucked up. I don't really understand it, to be honest, but hey, whatever. But yeah, so then I thought it's just interesting to see that they had a fatal 4-way match, to be fair, to kick off SmackDown. It was a bit weird, but why not? And obviously, it was a bit of. I would say that the whole thing was just a waste of time, seeing that the match started straight away. It wasn't even something to look forward to later on in the episode. It was just straight away. Cesaro is already half beaten. Cesaro just comes in, finishes jobs, and that was a bit of a waste. It just makes you feel a bit like, oh. You've shortchanged almost. And no real big stars. No Seth Rollins, no John Cena here today. It was just a bit weird. It was a bit of a unstar-studded match, really. I feel like, looking at it, the big names you really had was Cesaro, Sheamus, Del Rio, The Miz and Dean Ambrose, and that was really it. There wasn't even a Bray Wyatt, Oh, and Sasha Banks, and that was it really. And that was it. But anyway, after the United States Championship match, we had Dana Brooke going against NXT star Billie Kay, and she obviously beat her. I don't know who Billie Kay is really. I do watch NXT, but I have no idea who the fuck she is at all. Yeah, I just don't know who that is. I just don't know who it is. But okay, like cool. I don't really know what they did. I don't even think Charlotte was even at SmackDown today, so I don't know what that really was going for. Then we had the WWE Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, come out hosting this week's edition of the fucking MizTV, when we've already got Ambrose Asylum and the highlight reel. How many fucking talk shows do you need, WWE? I don't know. So his guest was none other than WWE Champion Dean Ambrose. Now, emphasis on the word WWE Champion. Normally, he's known as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And all over SmackDown and Raw, Dean Ambrose has been known as the WWE Champion. Now, this has just got to be fucking teasing the return of the World Heavyweight Championship. And one's going to go on Raw and one's going to go on SmackDown. This is interesting. My guess is that there's going to go... I can see Dean Ambrose going on SmackDown. So it would only make sense for him to lose the title to Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, who most likely will stay on Raw. And we'll just get people like that, I suppose. And then obviously the WWE title, the current WWE title, that the one that we've seen, the one that Dean Ambrose got right now, that's going to be on Monday Night Raw. And obviously the new and improved WWE just World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown, like it was before. I'm pretty sure the old brand split has always been like that. The WWE Championship is always moving on Raw, and the World Heavyweight is always on SmackDown. So yeah, good stuff. Anyway, good to see. Interesting to see this happen. Intrigued to see what this belt will look like. To be fair, if they're going to go for the classic, just normal look, or if they're going to revamp it like they did with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So we'll see. What have we got there? And then we've got so we're still doing MizTV. And the two exchanged fucking digs at each other before a fight broke out, and then Miz weirdly was left standing tall. But then it got announced that later on in the show, for the main event, it'll be The Miz going against Dean Ambrose, and like even that, just like not even a good match. Like not even it's not a main event worthy match. Like this SmackDown was very lackluster and not star-studded at all. It got very short-changed. I feel sorry for whoever. No wonder they were promoting tickets for it on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't even want to go to this fucking SmackDown. Jesus Christ, it was shit. Then we have the Wyatt family, but no Bray Wyatt. We're just Braun Strowman and Erick Rowan, squashing two unnamed local competitors, just like Enzo Amore big casted on Monday night. Same thing again, just not really needed. I presume. I don't know if they are, because they would have been more recognised, but I thought they would have been in the Cruiserweight Classic. But I doubt it, because WWE would have said like, oh, these guys are from the Cruiserweight Classic. So I'm presuming they were just two local jobbers again. So yeah, good stuff. And then Sasha Banks goes against Summer Rae, and she defeats her in a singles match, obviously continuing her march forward to the that inevitable match for the women's title against Charlotte, where she'll hopefully win it. So we'll see what happens there. But again, no Charlotte came out. It was just that. And then to end the match, obviously we had Dean Ambrose going against Intercontinental Champion The Miz. And Dean Ambrose picks up the victory against The Miz, but like, why? What did this do? Like, I don't know what this did. I don't know. Like, okay, cool. Like, it didn't do anything. Okay, whatever, sorted. And that was SmackDown. It was just really lackluster. There's no stars on there really. Whoever bought a ticket, I'm sorry, because that was a waste of your goddamn money. But and that is it for SmackDowns. Oh shit, what day was that? Like, well, the 30th, I suppose. Yeah, the 30th, the 6th. So yeah, it's time for some news, and we have a couple of news stories. First off, start with the good old Raw ratings, and they've gone down again. So Raw plummeted by 11. The Raw ratings plummeted by 11% this week. So the show of from this week, this Monday, drew 3.093 million viewers, and last week they had a 3.467 million. So a big drop. Basically 400,000 people. Or 300,000 people, sorry, dropping out, which is a lot. So the first hour of Monday Night Raw actually drew just over the average for the whole night. The first hour of Monday Night Raw drew 3.096, and then the second hour with a bit of a slight increase to 3.173 million. And then it dropped off for the last hour, which is quite bad. I can't see where the number was. I can't see what the last hour was, but it was pretty shit. Yeah, like fucking. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm quite surprised, but I'm just gonna blame this on. It's summer for a lot of people. The ratings are all off America anyway, so a lot of kids are on their summer vacations or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people are away. A lot of people are not even watching TV. They're watching films. They've gone out to the cinema, and they're watching it on demand or however else they can watch a replay of Raw. I don't think many people are even watching it live at the moment. I don't even watch it live, obviously, because of the fucking time it comes on. It's at least they're staying in 3 millions, I suppose. It's better than a couple of weeks ago when they were in the 2.8, 2.9 millions, but it's still pretty poor when you only think how big the brand of WWE is in America alone can only grab 3 million people. Like, bit disappointing, but I hope at least they're in the 3. So CM Punk was talking to ESPN's Russillo and Canal show, obviously hyping up his UFC debut at UFC 203, and he was asked about could he ever return to wrestling, and he goes, this is actually actual quote, sorry, he goes, no, I don't think so, but it's one of those never say never things. I like to cover all my bases, so I just want some internet dweeb is going to be like you and say you're never gonna wrestle again. But WWE? No, absolutely not. You never know. I could pop up here and there. Personally, do I think he's going to go back to the WWE? Yes. Fucking everyone does. Why? Because of money. Let's be honest. He's going to get battered. I'm a big follower. Well, not a big follower. I'll say I'm a big follower. I'm a big follower of UFC at the moment. And Mickey Gall, who he's going against, is a fucking professional fighter. He's been boxing and fighting. Well, he's been doing mixed martial arts and boxing since the age of 13. He's only had professional records of 2 wins and no losses. Professionally, he's quite low, but he's been fighting since he's 13 in a ring, or then he started moving to jiu-jitsu. Just because CM Punk is a wrestler doesn't mean shit. CM Punk will he'll get battered. I'm sorry, he just will. He will lose his first match. Unlucky, because I like CM Punk, but hopefully he loses and thinks fuck UFC and then comes to WWE. You never know. Next we have updates on the general manager split, or on general managers in the in WWE. So obviously everyone's it's the word on every wrestling fan's lips in the moment is what is going to happen during the draft, because no one fucking has an idea. And obviously it's pretty obvious that it's going to be either Shayna and Stephanie to make to claim either Raw or SmackDown. But last night on Raw, however, Michael Cole cleared on the air regarding the title position. Obviously the whole title thing, between WWE champion and all through Monday Night Raw, Dean Ambrose was known as the WWE champion, not even the world heavyweight. So tempting a potential new World Heavyweight Championship, just World Heavyweight Champion. You never know. But it's just speculative, really. It could good old Triple H come in and claim one of the shows. Simple as that. Could he come in and claim a show rather than Stephanie? Because Stephanie just gets a bit boring sometimes. She's a heel, but she's like on Be a Star and all the charity work. It just doesn't really make sense. But we'll see what happens. You never know. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, a couple of what is it, like 20 days or something now to the draft, or 18 days or whatever it is. So we'll see. It's getting interesting. I'm excited as fuck. We'll see what happens, I suppose. Next we have what do we have next? We have an official match has been made for WWE Battleground. We have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Obviously, he got made official on Monday Night Raw. So obviously now that makes the card as of today. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and obviously that triple threat match for the WWE title. I suppose I've got to call it now. So inevitable, really. After the whole Monday Night Raw thing, we knew this was going to happen. Then more news between Brock Lesnar. So an upcoming Brock Lesnar DVD / Blu-ray feature is to include a rare match. Now, obviously, he's handed himself, I believe it's just a normal documentary, but he's already had a documentary about the start of his life. This isn't him, why he returned after coming to UFC. So that night when he attacked John Cena, everything from the streak to main event in Manias to just whatever. I believe the DVD is called Brock Lesnar Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat. I believe the DVD is going to be released on October the 11th of this year. And the never before seen match featuring Brock Lesnar is going to be against Mr. Perfect from early 2012. Sadly, remember when they had that whole plane ride from hell thing, like when they started fighting each other on the plane ride? It's not that match. It's an actual match in a ring. It's interesting to see those two people square off, I suppose. What else do we have? No, obviously, sticking with good old Brock Lesnar, we have Brock Lesnar being revealed earlier in the week as the new WWE 2K17 cover star. So what does this mean? Well, it means Brock's going to get a hell of a payday, because he's getting payday from this, he's getting payday from WWE in general, and he's getting a fucking payday from UFC. Brock Lesnar, you rich bastard. You little rich little shit, man. Fair play to you, son. Yeah. Then, so what does this mean? Look, most likely we're going to have a Brock Lesnar themed story mode like thing. So like when we had Stone Cold on the cover, we had the Stone Cold showcase. So we went through all of his iconic matches and stuff like that. So I presume we're going to do the same thing again. The streak matches with Cena and Rollins and shit, and obviously main event of 31 and stuff like that. But what I would find interesting is that if we could have a Paul Heyman mode in some sort, so we either can be Paul Heyman or we could be a Paul Heyman guy. How fucking sick would that be? Paul Heyman's your manager and you go through that story. Fucking sick. Madness. How about it, lads? But hey, we'll see what happens. Then interesting news from earlier in the week. WWE abandoned the trademark to the Balor Club. So obviously we know that the Balor Club, as of now, just being AJ Styles, Luke Gallows and Kyle Anderson, is known as the club. We all thought when Balor Club gets pushed up, they're going to be given the Balor Club name. But I think all this means is that they're just gonna stick with it doesn't mean that, and it doesn't mean that Finn Balor's not going to join the club. It just means that WWE just prefer the word the club. That's it really. I can't really. I think that's as simple as it is. There's nothing too mad thing about it. You got loads of people shitting themselves, like, oh, he's not gonna join. Like, of course he is. Like, calm down. Just calm down. And then next we have good old Kurt Angle, been given fucking rumored fucking heavily as shit, man, to be returning back to the WWE ever since he left TNA. And he did himself a little Facebook little. Well, it was on Thursday. He, with Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, reported that WWE sources have now claimed that Angle will not be returning to the company. But then Angle himself felt the need to respond to those reports, posting this following post on Facebook. And he goes, in response to some of your questions today regarding WWE and all of the media fanfare about the last few days, I want to once again say that our confidential conversation never discussed the brand split. A few wrestling sites have seemed to put that spin on this by twisting some words around to fit their agenda. Sometimes something that I have no control over. Whatever I can control in my own life is my own life. And my life isn't only wrestling. I do not expect to be in wrestling much longer. I am excited about the future. Thank you. Now, all you need to know about Kurt Angle when he releases shit like this is that he lies like a motherfucker. He lies like a motherfucker. It's a joke. So I don't believe shit he just said there. But the main thing he did say was that he mentioned the word the brand split. Motherfuckers in the draft. I'm telling you. I would put money on it. If you guys could put a bet on. Because he's going to be in there. It's so obvious. It's a joke. He's going to be there. In the brand split. Doing things. Watch the space, lads. Yeah. How about that? Now, final news of the week. And fucking hell, this was interesting. So, as of recording this being the 30th, and as of publishing this is the 30th of June 2016. But on last night, the 29th of June 2016, you might have known if you follow WWE Snapchat, there was a live event in Honolulu, Hawaii. And if you guys remember me talking about this is where, for some reason, WWE were promoting Shinsuke Nakamura being at the event, which is a main roster event. So I have the full results for the actual event because it happened. If you remember, a couple of months ago, I believe I reported this, and it's quite exciting. So yeah, this is it. So first match was Titus O'Neil defeated Curtis Axel in the opening match. Then Baron Corbin defeated Dolph Ziggler with the end of days. Usos defeated Luke Gallows and Kyle Anderson, and they got a massive pop, obviously them being kind of Hawaii Samoan kind of people. And then the NXT Women's Champion Asuka retained her title over Natalya. So it's interesting stuff to know that they've just started doing. Well, I think this is the first time I've ever heard of it, but they've got an NXT Championship getting defended at a WWE main roster live event. That was fun. And then we had the WWE Tag Team Champions retaining their belts also against the Vaudevillains in a very entertaining match, it just says. So and then we had the WWE Women's Champion also retaining her belt over Becky Lynch, which just said had some really good mat wrestling, which is just a given because Charlotte is fantastic in the ring, and so is Becky Lynch. And then we had Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Kevin Owens when the Kinshasa is known as Match of the Night. The crowd were electric, and Nakamura just looked fucking fantastic. That wasn't even the main event. The main event was WWE Champion Dean Ambrose put his title on the line in a fatal four-way match between Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles, and obviously Dean Ambrose. What the fuck? Why wasn't this a network special? I'd have loved to see this card. Just to clarify, we had 4 title defenses and a Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What fucking more can you ask for? What the F? I have no idea, but that has been it for today's NXT SmackDown news. I hope you all enjoyed the 42nd episode of DownForThe123 podcast. I've been your host, Sucky, as always. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Player FM, TuneIn Radio, fucking tweet at us at DownForThe123. Go check out our YouTube channel where I'm always uploading Universe Mode. It's quite fun. I love doing it. And also just breaking news like Roman Reigns' suspension and shit like that. So yeah, watch the space. And I keep saying that in a bad way, but like just watch the space because there's exciting stuff going on the YouTube channel. So keep it locked on there. Hope everyone have enjoyed today's podcast. As always, I've been your host, Suki. This has been DownForThe123 podcast, and I'll catch you guys on Tuesday for a good old Monday Night Raw review. I'll check you all then. So don't forget to tweet us any questions you have or anything you want me to answer for the next podcast. And I'll shout you out and answer them. So cheers, and I'll catch you all on Tuesday. Cheers.